Hey guys, Swanee here. Welcome back to Train Sim World. Today we're over on the Sandpatch grade. This is one of the two scenarios that come on the beta. This is the one where we're actually out on the mountain with a full freight train, and then the other one is over in Cumberland Yard where we're doing some switching and locomotive maintenance. Anyway, if you guys haven't checked out the tutorial videos, first look video, be sure to go check that out on the channel. I'll also be releasing the Cumberland Yard scenario shortly after this video, so stay tuned for that. If you guys haven't already done so, subscribe so you guys are notified when those videos pop up. There's also a lot of Train Sim 2017 videos out there if you guys are interested in that as well. And without further ado, we'll get started here. So we're down at the bottom of one of the cities. This train will come up to a stop at that station, and we'll go ahead and jump on the train. As you can tell, look at the graphics. I mean, this is you see, you got a little bit of a sunset there, but this thing looks absolutely incredible. I mean, they did an amazing job with the graphics. I mean, this is looking pretty lifelike, pretty real. So, very impressed with that. They did a great job with sounds, great job with graphics, everything, dynamics of the locomotives and. So anyway, let's get started. Hey there, are you the Renew crew I've been told to look out for? Climb aboard and join me in the cab. Alright, so we'll go ahead and jump up over here in the cab. Close the door. Alright, go ahead and get a seat. It's a nice day. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the windows. I mean, first of all, I want you to notice how quiet it is in here, and then watch when I open up these windows. Even one window, and then if you open up a second window, it gets even louder, which is pretty neat. That's something you would get on some of the payware stuff, so or like a payware add-ons. So the fact that this is all stock in the game is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and let these guys know we're getting out of here, and we'll go ahead and be on our way. A little bit ahead of the scenarios, telling me to do stuff I've already done, so. There we go. Just letting it fix itself. Alright, so this is just going to be a short little run going up the Sandpatch grade. We're going to start going upgrade, and then we'll finish going down the hill. It should be about 10 or 15 minutes. But I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to turn off the HUD. You can do that by pressing F1. Get a little bit more of a realistic feel in here. We'll get a little bit of a look at the route while we're doing this. And you can see, I mean, the level of detail on what they put to the route. It's pretty amazing. I mean, you look at the trees, they all look pretty good. The shrub and the fence and every little detail that they add, all the rocks. And then if you look outside, like the way, oh, let's add some more power here. The way they add the lighting to the locomotives, the way that the light reflects off of it. You can see here as we're moving through the trees, there's the locomotives, casting different shadows. And it's really a cool kind of thing to watch. You can even see how the sunlight glares through the trees, like right there. One thing I do notice too is that the signals or the lights and the signals are a little bit brighter, which is kind of nice. One thing I kind of had issues with in the last Train Sim was that the signals were kind of hard and to see. They weren't really visible from far away, so you would kind of be too late before you knew what you had to do as far as slowing the train down or stopping. So that's kind of nice. One thing I've noticed. Just like look at the inside of the cab, like just kind of like look at how things move. Here, kind of listen to this too. Hold on. they did a really good job with the sounds on this game. You can hear, you know, the rolling stock car or the rolling stock sounds as though the freight cars pass by from the other train. It's kind of a complete game now. It's almost. I mean, it's definitely something that's they've improved. I don't know what is going on with this outside camera. Might have to report this as a bug. But obviously this is still in beta, guys. So obviously just be aware that there's still some bugs that are working out. But again, like, look at the stuff on the ground right here, like all the railroad ties, cable lines. I mean, trucks. I mean, this stuff looks great. I mean, it's not even. It almost looked arcade-ish in the last game. This looks pretty realistic. The only thing I've noticed is if you look out in the distance, the level of detail it gets kind of cloudy. It doesn't really look as crisp, as sharp. But that's okay because you don't really zoom out that far anyway. But that's just one thing I've kind of noticed. Other than that, everything that's right in close proximity to you looks pretty realistic. So it's definitely a good sign. Let's see, we can get ourselves sped up a little bit more. We're only at 30 miles an hour. I believe we can go up to 35. So we'll get ourselves moving up here a little bit more. If you guys don't have this beta yet, you guys can still get it. Be sure to go over to trainsim.com and there's a whole page that will tell you what you need to do. Basically, what you have to have is the Pioneers Edition of Train Simulator 2017, which includes like 5 routes or something like that. And hold on, get that crossing here. So it includes like 5 routes. I think it's like North Jersey Coastline, South Wales Coastal Route, Singringbong, like the TGV is like the Marseille route, and there's one more route, I can't remember the name of it. But if you own all 5 of those, it gives you access to the beta. This beta is going to be running for, I believe, 12 days or something like that. So it ends on the 16th, or I don't remember the exact date. But it does give you access to this beta. The beta includes 3 tutorial scenarios, which is what the last video covered. There's 2 scenarios. One is this scenario. There's another one that's in the yard, at Cumberland Yard, where you have to move locomotives around, put trains together, refuel locomotives and stuff like that. And then they kind of have an open kind of like a free roam, so to speak, where you can change the weathers, but it's essentially this same stretch of track. So I believe the real game is coming out in like early next year, possibly like February is what they were saying. So if you guys don't want to get the beta, that's when the real version of the game will be coming out. And I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do with this game in the future. I don't know if they're going to add more routes to it, and Train Sim World's going to be like just the base platform for all these routes. Or if it's going to be every route's going to be a different game. So I'm curious to see if it's going to be like an add-on versus like every single route's a different game. It's going to be curious to see how that works. I imagine there's a lot of work that goes into building these routes and putting all these crazy details and shadow. I mean, part of it's probably the game engine, but I imagine there's a lot of work that goes into making it this detailed. So I'll be curious to see what they do. What's nice to know, though, is that they're still making stuff for Train Sim 2017. I saw the article yesterday that says they're releasing the Caltrain route, which is the route that goes from San Jose, California, up to San Francisco. It's our Bay Area commuter train up there, which is really awesome. I've waited for that route for a long time. I'm a Bay Area resident, so I'm kind of excited for that personally. But it's very similar to like the Pacific Surfliner route. So if you guys are a fan of that route, that's kind of what it's going to be like. There's more stations involved in that one, and they're kind of shorter together, so it's almost like a mix between like Miami commuter route and like the Pacific Surfliner. It's kind of similar to that, but there's no release date on that yet. Be curious to see how long it's going to take them to come out with that, but so far from what I saw in the pictures from that article, it looked pretty sweet. So I'm really excited for that. We're just approaching the tunnel here. As soon as we hit this tunnel, this is like basically the summit point where we'll start going down the mountain. So we'll have to throw in some dynamic brake, let the train kind of figure itself out, slow itself down. I try not to use the brakes of the train too much. I find that causes some issues. So I try to use a dynamic brake as much as possible, and then if I have to throw a brake in on top of that, then I can. I'm going to start bringing down the power just a little bit, notch by notch, as we start to gain some more speed. And once we get out of the tunnel, I'm going to try to see if I can fix that external view, and so we can see some views from the front, because we can make some really cool views that you can make. All right, so once we start throwing dynamic brake in, so we'll go ahead and do that. Nope, there we go. Start out like 4. This grade isn't too bad. I think they've kind of hyped it up over more than it's not as steep as they actually say it is. They kind of overhyped it a little bit. So you'll see here, it really doesn't require too much attention. You can really kind of stick just to that dynamic brake and you'll be fine. You don't really have to use the brakes too much. So, all right, let's see if we can hop outside. I hope you guys enjoyed this little first look at Train Sim World. I will be bringing more videos of Train Sim World to the channel, so be sure to jump over there and subscribe to be notified when those come out. If you guys like this, be sure to leave a like, and I will see you guys with some more Train Sim World soon. Take care.